Hey Pisces, it's Romy here. Welcome to my channel. This is your November monthly intuitive reading. So if you're a Pisces sun, rising or moon, this reading may resonate for you. If it does, please drop me a like and a comment. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and you can also join me for the extended version by clicking on the downward arrow next to the video description, and it will take you through to the link on my website. Let's go ahead and see what's coming out in November for you. Thanks so much for tuning in. Okay, Scorpio season. For you Pisces, that's 9th house activity, and I think you're really ready for that sense of more optimistic, hopeful and renewed vision about what's coming next. So the beautiful new moon in Scorpio, which is 28th of October, what is it bringing in for you? Do you know what? I feel that this is representative of a real change in your value system in some way, Pisces. It's interesting because we're in Mercury retrograde from the 31st of October right through to the 18th of November. So we're in the shadow period now, in October as I'm filming this. And it really is giving you cause for reflection on how much you've changed, where you feel the need to commit your energy and direct your focus right now. And for me, the Hierophant coming in for you is actually a beautiful grounded, this sometimes links into a Taurus energy, and it's actually a Taurus full moon that we have on the 12th of November, which is in 3rd house activity for you Pisces. So it's all about how you're going to choose to express yourself, what you need to release, so that for me it feels like so that you can communicate more authentically and more freely. And sometimes the Hierophant can feel slightly restricted by certain rules or structures in place. And for me, it's representing that you are ready for a change in values and ready to express that and not be shy about it. There's quite like a forthright, direct quality that comes in with this, and there's a deeply spiritual energy that's also coming through, where I feel like you're ready to reconnect. So for those of you that have maybe felt slightly disconnected in your own spiritual practice, or if you found it more challenging of late to meditate or to sort of have that deeply soul nurturing time, or to just link in and feel like you can really trust your intuition, for me the Hierophant is coming in with a renewal energy that says that sense of wisdom and the ability to find that quiet space to listen in to what the guidance is for you is returning. And we have a major event for you Pisces at the end of November, because on the 27th Neptune will be moving direct again in your sign. It's been retrograde since June, I think it's June 21st, and this is maybe played a little bit of havoc for you in terms of the trying to navigate that kind of reality and what's been unfolding around you versus where you're trying to keep the focus and your intention around what it is that you want to manifest, what you want to visualize. So for me it feels, even though all of the spiritual practices, you understand the laws of the universe, you understand the energy, it's maybe been a little bit more challenging in the last few weeks and months to be able to apply those things consistently. But I feel like we're having a turn of events coming in with this. So what does that bring for us? Full energy. It's giving you the opportunity to start a new cycle, Pisces, and to feel quite carefree with that. The last couple of readings that we've had for you in September, October have talked about you creating this new vision for happiness and what that looks like, and almost just having to keep really focused on your path regardless of what else was going on around you. And I think we have a continuation of that coming in. So Hierophant energy is giving that nice grounded directive, and then the Fool comes in with that real burst of motivation and inspired action. Now that new moon Scorpio on the 27th, 28th of October is a little bit unexpected. We have a direct square with Uranus, and so you might find yourself just using that energy as the real propeller to kind of start something new or to announce something new. And that might come as a bit of a shock or a surprise to those around you, but I feel that you're ready for this. Ninth house is also about travel and just expanding your horizons, and that full energy is also just linking into that for me. It's like you're ready for new adventures, you're ready for a journey to take. Okay, so what are we leaving behind? I feel, this Five of Pentacles is about where, well, I think there's two things coming forward with this. First of all, we are leaving behind that time where you have felt on the outside. Do you know what's happened? I think that you've gone through quite a transformation this year, Pisces, where maybe maybe there's been different groups, okay? There's been different, I guess, like collective energies, and you've been trying to find your place in that, right? So remember, we have the Pluto and Saturn conversation that's taking place is all in your 11th house. So it's all about friendship groups, how you relate into the community. And for me, I feel that there's been times where you've just not found your place through this year with that. And you have felt slightly isolated or on the fringes of things. And maybe it's because your guides have been really trying to direct your focus towards this new path that's emerging for you. So I feel we are leaving this energy behind. But I also feel like maybe you're ready to leave something or some people behind as well. So there is that quality of like loss that comes in. I think for those of you that have had more challenging periods around finances, for me, we are clearing this energy out. And that full moon in Taurus is going to be really powerful for you with that particular theme, if it's something that you're dealing with right now, Pisces. That secure, grounded, earthy Taurus is just helping you to establish a new set of ground rules for yourself and what emotional security, financial security looks like for you, and what you need to do in order to realize that. And I guess actually, as it opposes the full energy here in the opposite direction, maybe for some of you, you'll be taking less financial risks, but you'll be bolder in other areas to make sure that you feel more secure within yourself first and foremost. For me, the Hierophant always talks about like doing the right thing. There's something about doing the right thing for you, I feel right now, Pisces. Okay. Right, so Eight of Pentacles energy coming in. I really do feel we're leaving behind that sort of financial strain and stress. But you are being asked to stay committed to the task at hand. And I feel like there is a kind of almost a sense of having to apply yourself and be really consistent. I mean, Hierophant talks about commitment. And the Eight of Pentacles is sitting beneath him and really echoing that same conversation. I feel that if we're talking about relationships here, and for some of you, maybe you're dealing with a Taurus with that Hierophant coming in, I think that there is more work to do, is what I want to say. There's work to do. The Fool gives you the opportunity for a new beginning or taking something onto a higher level or a new footing. And again, leaving behind any sense of loss or sort of feelings of being... I don't know, where someone may have been avoiding, or maybe you have been avoiding that closeness, that connection. But the Eight of Pentacles does talk to me about having to put the work in, and it's not like a quick fix, I feel. But certainly you're starting out on a different level. And remember, we talked about having different value system coming in. I think this 9th house activity is going to help you to just feel a little bit more... bigger picture. It's going to help you to look at the long term and understand what it's going to have to take to get there, and be prepared to put the work in to make that happen. When we move into Sagittarius energy, happening on the 22nd of November, it's 10th house activity for you, Pisces. So that is about you getting really focused in and around your career, but also like the long-term ambitions that you have for yourself and your family, or your close relationships in your life. King of Pentacles right in the centre of the reading here. So you could be dealing with an earth sign, Virgo, Capricorn or Taurus, as Taurus seems to be quite strong in the reading today. And I do feel like we are being offered something that is a little bit more concrete. So maybe you've had something lately that's not really measured up, or you felt a little bit confused or uncertain, I feel like he's stepping forward with something that you can feel a little bit more dependable. Like there's more of a sense of security that's coming through with it. And I feel like he's offering the opportunity for something to begin anew, begin afresh. For those of you looking in and around career or work, I think this is an offer that could potentially come through for you. For me, it feels more as we move into kind of Sagittarius time through this month. So I would say keep looking, keep applying. If you're still waiting on something happening, be proactive. But that Eight of Pentacles is also showing me you might be taking up some kind of new learning, or having to put yourself through some additional study or accreditation in order to be considered in a more favourable light. But actually what's showing is the opportunity to do something completely different as well, I feel, Pisces. So for those of you that are ready to just try something completely new, I think the energies are looking favourable for this as well. So we have Page of Wands energy coming in. I think there is communication that needs to take place. Now remember, we're in Mercury retrograde, so, you know, yes, it causes that upset sometimes or that confusion. However, this particular transit of Mercury retrograde in Scorpio is a little bit lighter. We have a nice conversation that's taking place with Venus for this particular transit that's making it a little bit friendlier, a little bit less harsh. And so it feels like it's important to keep those open lines of communication happening. You could be dealing with a fire sign in the mix here as well, Pisces, so there could be a Leo, Sagittarius or Aries that's involved in some way, and maybe this is where you've experienced either some kind of challenge, being left out, or having to isolate yourself from that fire energy. For some reason I do feel like complications is the word that they give me with that particular card today. So maybe you've experienced or are about to experience some complications with a certain individual who's either fire or coming across quite fiery. I need you to keep your cool. I need to remind you about how far you've come, what it is that you're actually looking to achieve for yourself, what your goals are between now and the end of the year as we approach the end of this decade, and don't be derailed is what I want to say. Yeah, Seven of Swords. Kind of feel like you've got some kind of situation that's just trying to derail your focus or pull you away from what really matters. And I just want to say, like, don't get pulled in that direction. I feel like someone's trying to get your attention here, and they might just be doing it out of I don't know, maybe they're seeing that you're starting to get stuff together, you know, things are starting to come your way, you're starting to realise or have a clearer vision of what's next. And, you know, maybe you're dealing with somebody that's just not quite ready either to let you go, or not as happy as they could be or should be for what you're achieving right now. So there feels like some kind of almost vain attempts to get your attention or to do things to just rattle your cage a little bit. But you know what? I feel like you're quite focused, and it's not really impacting you in the way that I think they want it to, and I quite like that. I feel like you are very poised and feeling quite grounded and stable actually through the month of November, Pisces, which is really positive. Now, in the Sagittarius energy, when we talk about 10th house, I feel like you are thinking about some kind of really big, bold change. So what's that, Pisces? Okay, what they're talking to me about is either you are, and I don't feel it's quite yet, so I think something's coming to mind or emerging for you, or is about to, that is having you thinking where you need to really step up or step out of your comfort zone. I've got a major life change that I feel is going to be coming into your conscious awareness that you're going to start to think about, that I think is going to take more hold as we move into 2020. The Hanged Man for me is about you taking the time that you need and seeking that inner guidance to actually understand what that is. okay? Maybe where we talk about the fact that you've not felt like you've fitted in anywhere, you are now realizing where your place is, what your purpose is. And there's going to be a bit of an epiphany and a bit of a moment that says, okay, I know exactly where I want to be and what I want to be doing. I feel that for some of you, and I want to kind of attribute this into relationships right now, Pisces, there does seem to be some sort of stagnant energy or stuck energy. So what you might be feeling is that actually somebody, either that you're in a relationship with or is on the fringes, I feel is stuck in some kind of situation in their life. So I'm not really feeling that that's necessarily about you, but maybe there's some kind of block that's stopping or preventing you both from being able to move forward right now, because I feel like they have to deal with something. They have to deal with something before the energy is clean and clear. And again, I want to say, like, don't get too caught up in all of that. You can cut with them, don't bleed with them, is what I want to say. So just make sure that you're not drawing up too much of that energy yourself. I feel that there's a lot of, I want to say there's integrity that comes through in communication and conversation for you this month, Pisces. So I do want to say that I feel you should be able to trust your instincts, and for me there is a sense of celebration and positivity to an outcome. So I think for those of you that are waiting to see a situation turn around, or where you've been waiting for somebody that feels like they've been like 1 or 2 steps behind you the whole way this year, I think just a little further and they're going to be able to catch up with you, is what I want to say. I also feel that there's an improvement around friendships or social connections. You know, that Page of Wands and 3 of Cups coming in. I feel that for those of you that have maybe been experiencing some challenging situations around social connections, we also have an improvement coming in on that side of things. I think it's important for you at this point, Pisces, to remember that everything that you have experienced in the lead up to this culmination of 2019 has been helping to shape you into the person that you need to be to really take the bull by the horns as we move into 2020. So where you've been triggered in terms of your worth, where you've been triggered in relationships, where you've been triggered in terms of your gifts or your capabilities in career and work or your family, it just feels that everything has been really coming in to help push you and shape you and help you to shed a lot of old energy so that you are ready to step up into this brand new path that's emerging for you. And what it's delivering is much more security and a sense of purpose is really what I want to say. So I'm just going to pull a couple of oracle cards and see how they are influencing. Okay, I'm going to take 2 because they both fell out, so we'll do that. Okay, so we have action and the path. Okay, I think this is, for me, this has been the last 3 months for you, Pisces. You really are moving into just a new, it's a new decade, it's a new time, and, your intuitive, deeply intuitive sense of self is telling you that something big is coming up on the horizon and you're ready for it. And I feel like, she kind of looks almost Hanged Man to me. She's just there, poised, ready. She knows what's ahead. She's not afraid of it. She's already scaled these mountains. The stars are really highlighting that this is a time of optimism and renewal and hope, and she's moving back into that water. So it's something about moving back into a period of time where you're going to feel completely at home and completely like yourself, but also completely changed. We also have action, and I think it's important that you are, as we link into that 8 of Pentacles energy, you're just ready to do what's necessary. And some of that might be some difficult decisions, I think for one or two of you, particularly in regards to relationships, you will be making those decisions before the end of November. But I feel like the communication is honest and truthful, and I actually think that you feel really good about it. So where I see you as we emerge into the last month of the year is just knowing I've said the right things, I've done the right things, and what will be will be. That's kind of the vibe that I get with it. Oh, lovely. Okay, delight, which I guess links in with this Three of Cups energy coming through as well for you. But beautiful, vibrant energy is really drawn into the kind of pink and white flowers that are going on here as well. There's just more colour returning to your world. Again, she looks quite pensive, this bird. So there's a kind of something that you're deep in thought over. So even though I have this beautiful energy of contentment and celebration that comes in, I also think there's an undercurrent that's around you just now, Pisces, and I feel like maybe this is something slightly external to you. So maybe it's not wholly about your past, but you are thinking about somebody else right now. So maybe it's somebody in the family or a close friend or a relationship, and with that Mercury retrograde, you know, we do have the tendency to go back and think about the past, or we're certainly in a place of reviewing and assessing. And I do feel like your mind is contemplating where you've ended up, where other people are at their point in the journey. And so even though there's a lovely sense of celebration, there's still almost this quiet, like it's like you're holding space, for somebody else is what I want to say with this. But delight certainly for you means that there's something coming in that I feel we're going to be celebrating before the end of November, which is going to be really lovely. Right, so Pisces, thank you so much. If you have enjoyed the reading or it's resonating for you, you are very welcome to go ahead and join me for the extended reading. So we'll talk for about another 20 minutes or so, and we'll just take this conversation and see where it leads us. So I'm going to pull some additional cards and see what else comes up just to clarify your reading. Okay, so with the Hierophant, interesting, we have the Seven of Swords again showing up here. Okay. Ten of Wands coming up. And Queen of Swords. Could be dealing with an air sign here. That's quite interesting. Alright, so with the Fool, we have the Hermit coming through. A sense of a journey really coming up strongly with these cards for you, Pisces. Okay, Five of Cups. I think that Five's linking in with the Five of Pentacles, but I feel, again, it's like you're moving away from this. Okay, Seven of Cups coming in. Five of Pentacles is bringing in Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I do feel that we're moving away. A situation is being transformed and there's more positivity and luck that's coming. Judgments following this. And death and Scorpio season. You could be dealing with a Scorpio. A lot of major arcanas coming out there, Pisces. Interesting. Okay, let's look at this Eight of Pentacles. Okay, Nine of Wands coming in. I think that focus can feel quite exhausting, actually, but it's wholly necessary. Scorpio really helps us to focus deeply as well. Knight of Wands. Interesting. Four of Cups as well. Okay, let's clarify this King of Pentacles for you. So, Empress energy coming through here, which of course can link in with her connection to Venus with that Taurus energy as well. So I do really feel like we're talking about a Taurus significant in your world. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, see, I think there is some kind of offer that's come forward for you. Okay, a couple jumped out here. So Three of Pentacles and Four of Pentacles. Okay, a lot of money cards here, so I definitely feel for those of you that have a real focus on finances at the moment, things are improving. Okay, Page of Wands, Knight of Swords coming in. Okay. Remember I said about that Page of Wands just feeling a bit kind of complicated, and that Knight of Swords for me, there's definitely something in the communication that's coming from that place. The Devil, yeah. It'll be interesting to look into that in more detail in the extended. Okay, the Seven of Swords is connecting in with family here with the Ten of Pentacles. And the Fool card again coming in for you, Pisces. Maybe you're making a decision or having to do something that you know is not going to go down well with the family. Okay, Hanged Man is bringing in Nine of Pentacles. See, that's nice for me actually. I think that Hanged Man energy is going to be really supportive and positive for you. And again, the Three of Cups coming through. One more there. Justice, yeah, lovely. Okay, Three of Cups. We have King of Swords. Also got the Six of Cups coming in. And the Five of Swords. Okay, I'm just going to pull a couple of clarifiers for the Oracle cards here. We have the Emperor coming in. Could be a father figure or husband or... Nine of Cups with Delight, which is beautiful. Pull one more, High Priestess. Yes, lovely. Okay, Pisces, I look forward to going into these in a bit more detail. If you want to join me for the extended, you can just go ahead and click on the arrow next to the video description. And in the box below, you'll see a link through to my website. Thanks so much for joining me. If you did enjoy the reading, please drop me a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And I really look forward to catching up with you next month. Take care, Pisces. Bye for now.